joined this evening by Stuart Williams, who was captain at the weekend. So first of all, congratulations, Stuart, on your next Celtic Cup victory, on another one for you.
Yeah, six times now.
Yeah, this is me, you and Alan Carron are the only players that have won all 6.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bit weird.
But on another
Makes me feel older.
huge congratulations. First Welsh player in history to score 50 tries.
Yeah, that was quite a shocker, to be honest. I didn't really understand what you said to me on the pitch, to be fair, when we were after the score in the 49th. You said something about one more and you get 50, and I thought, I got very confused, and I thought, I've scored more than 50 points. And I thought you meant points, I didn't realise you meant tries, and then when obviously it actually got shouted out at the top when I scored the next one, I was a bit like, wow, okay, that was took me back a little bit, but it was quite a nice thing, and people, sort of stopping for a second to give us an applause and things like that, and yeah, it was nice. It's a real honour, it's a real personal achievement, and nobody can obviously take that away from us, but I'm sure there's going to be somebody who's going to surpass that at some point, which is great. But it's really fantastic, and something that I'll remember quite well.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. So the 50 tries, is that down like sheer skill in the chair, or you just can't pass, so you just choose not to?
A bit of both. I think sheer luck most of the time, and yeah, definitely a lot of. If I see the try line, I think I said to you in the game where we were playing, I said you see whitewash, you see the line, and you just go line, and you just try and score instead of trying to make an extra pass or something. But yeah, hopefully I get some of that habit out before the World Cup.
So going back to the weekend now, obviously Scotland was the easier game of the two, which closed out the day.
Yeah.
So going back to that first game, Ireland naming a fairly strong team compared to recent years, with the inclusion of your Phil Roberts, Tom Martin electing Ireland over England, which I'm sure was a tough decision. So
yeah, I think. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't know the dealings between. Obviously, I know Tom Martin is obviously having developments in the development pool, I think, for England and stuff, and I think that's because obviously he's only developing, he's not actually playing in this World Cup cycle, which is, it is what it is. But he came out and he played very well for Ireland. Phil Roberts is just a court general. He knows how to control the tempo of a game, and he controls it very well, and he got the best out of that side there. And Pete Johnson, doing classic Pete Johnson, just gritty, determined, hard working, and the Ireland squad has improved. And what I'm really happy to see is actually it is an Ireland squad, and they've brought it together from basically, literally having a handful of players and going, right, we're going to make this work, and now it's growing, and bringing someone like Phil Roberts in is just going to help as well, because people will be drawn to him. Phil's got loads of experience and loads of wisdom, shall we say, behind him, which will help an Ireland team develop, and obviously going forward. And I'm really looking forward actually to see how they compete at the World Cup. Personally, I think they'll have some really good outings. I think it'll be hard, yeah, but I think because it's a completely different stage. But I think they'll have a really good showing. I think they'll put some memories out there for a lot of people to see.
Yeah. So on to the later game of the day. So the Scotland game, obviously a record victory for Wales, but. Yeah. Being on that court myself, and obviously you, the score didn't really state how Scotland performed, because personally I thought Scotland performed a lot better than the score says they did.
Yeah, I do. I mean, obviously Scotland had a different style coming out. They with their starting 5 for the game. If I'm right in remembering correctly, was literally their bench 5 that came off from not playing in the previous game, and there was a lot of new blood in there. There was one gentleman, his name escapes me now, but we had a, a good collision in the middle of the field and stuff, and he was completely new. He had played the running game. I think he was the gentleman you said that actually
Pete, the one from Bridgend.
Yeah,
Pete from Bridgend.
And you could see that he was actually really good with the ball and stuff like that, and he was just getting used to the chair. But he developed a lot through the game, and there was a lot of other lads there. I can't remember his name because I didn't get a chance to talk to him because we were in the middle of drug testing at the time. But he really quite fast lad with a big curly hair, and do you know what? He was determined, and he was determined to tackle me, and he got me at one point. He went, "Got ya!" And I was just like, "Great!" And that was the building point. They were building on those type of things all the time. And then obviously Scotland, changed it up a bit, and they mixed and matched in the second half, and it got tougher. Obviously, I think the resiliency of having like the likes of Graham Stewart coming in, and obviously Mickey Mellon and things like that, helps tighten that up. Jay Anderson as well, and I think it was the score never really reflects that type of competitive margin. I just think we just managed to capitalise through gaps that were there, at times. But I think when it comes to knuckling down close to the line, it was always going to be a tough one to get across the line. I think we had to really work for every try that we got when we were close to the line. If it was open play, it was a little bit different, but when we were close to the line, it was a lot more tougher. So I think Scotland will always have that calibre, and I can't wait to see what they're going to bring to the World Cup as well, because I think when it comes to big stage, you never know. It's a different animal.
Big stage brings big shocks.
Well, that's it, and everybody plays differently when it gets to those type of competitions. So, more power to them, and I can't wait to see them, and I can't wait to play against them.
Yeah. So, leading on from the weekend, how are you thinking that the performances of the weekend will help the team in building up to the showcase at the World Cup later on in the year?
I think obviously with regards to the scoring and stuff like that, take that out of the situation. I think it was a great momentum for us. Winning 6 Celtic Cups in a row is a real turning point, and I think we really relish that opportunity, because we don't take Ireland or Scotland to heart. We're not like we always said every time. They're a different team this time, and you can't predict what they're going to be. I mean, Scotland having Mark Twigg, coaching them, it says a lot. He is a high caliber coach. Like I say, Ireland bringing in Phil Roberts to play, it's always going to change, and I think in the next year things are going to change dramatically. And I think for us at the weekend, it was a really good opportunity to try and practice, a couple of set plays that we've been working on. And trying to get ourselves into that rhythm, and also mixing it up and getting people into different positions and working how to play outside of the set play. Sometimes you go all the time going to a set play, and you panic when something doesn't go quite right. Yeah. So it's about actually, being a bit free loose and thinking outside of the box, and actually going and doing something slightly different to what the set piece is. And that's okay, and because when we're training, we constantly are doing our set pieces, and we're working at them. And the problem is the defence, because our teammates know how to predict where we're going. So we're trying to obviously manipulate, but then we can always forward think. Whereas when we're playing an opponent like Scotland or Ireland or whoever it may be, we have that little edge of knowing we know what we're going to do. They possibly don't, but if they start capitalising, we need to start thinking how to adapt quickly. I think it was good pretense for that going forward, and hopefully we'll have another couple of tune-up games or two before the World Cup, which will be good, because like I say, it's a different event,
yeah,
a different beast.
So with the World Cup being on home turf this year, being in this country, being in England, how does that feel, knowing that you could potentially be captaining your country? I would say in your country, but it's close enough. Close enough. Yeah, it's close enough.
It's all a part of the same island, isn't it? And it well, it's overwhelming really. You know, every time I get to go out and play for Wales and put the badge on and put also my armband on, you know, it means everything. You know, you'll usually find that I'm pre-games or pre-competition, I tend to avoid people. I tend to be quite isolated a couple of days before, because I get myself into a bit of a zone, and then also I get such an adrenaline kick and everything, and then also I have a massive crash usually after games and competitions, because so much emotion going through me for being out on that pitch and playing that game alongside my teammates and representing Wales. It means so much in that moment, and you know, there's no words that I can think of that describe it better than just, you know, an honour, and I can't wait for that honour to play in England, on the UK, if you like, and you know, hopefully do right by Wales and by my teammates and by the nation. As far as I'm concerned, hopefully this will grow the game, whether it's wheelchair, it's men's, whether it's PDRL, sorry, or whether it's women's, or whatever developments that come from it. I hope that people will see this and see us and be encouraged to take up the game and grow the depth and the talent in Wales, and that's all I want to see from this whole thing going forward, as a part of that, and knowing that I've, you know, led that, if you like, alongside the rest of my teammates. Yeah, that's a brilliant thing for me to be able to say and do.
Well, it's great to hear. One question just to round it off. I did ask Steve this.
Yeah.
Is this year's Celtic your last one?
Could be. Could be.
Bit of hesitation.
Could be. Yeah.
Bit of hesitation.
I was saying to the guys, I said, has anybody seen The Last Dance on Netflix? And yeah.
You're the Michael Jordan.
I kind of no. I wish I was, but I'll take being the part of the Chicago Bulls 6 times. Like that would be quite awesome. But it may be. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on personally in my life and things like that, and taking a lot of training into consideration, you know, is taken away from those other things that I need to, you know, focus in on. So I may have been my last Celtic.
It may have been your last one.